All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend. We are starting with a little bit of Tai Chi form we've learned in the past, grasp the peacock's tail. Then we are going to combine upper body, lower body, both moving exercises, which is called our I'm not going to remember the word right now. I'll think of it in a second. Our stabilizing exercises are isometrics. And then we're going to focus on negatives today, and that's slowing down the opposing part of the exercise. So, for instance, if we do a bicep curl, this is the concentric, this is the eccentric. We're going to slow down the eccentric phase and really fight gravity. And of course, we're still all around this good posture and functional posture and alignment today. So I have a chair, 2 or 3 pairs of hand weights. Let's start with our Tai Chi. A little bit of music here in the background. All right, let's take this out into Wide Wu Chi. We'll just start to flow from bending the right knee and then over to the left. So our Tai Chi centers us, it grounds us, it brings us into the present moment. It takes away any distractions from our mind. And we really do work on balance with this Tai Chi. So it might take you a little bit to kind of come up with the center of gravity and the balance with our footwork today. So what we're going to do is 3 of these. So we'll move to the right 1, move to the left 2, move to the right 3, and then tap this foot in. Then we'll step out, move to the left 1, to the right 2, to the left 3, and then balance, whoop, and tap. So just like I did, you might have to take a little stutter step to find your balance. And that was on my right hip, so we'll see how I do this time. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3. Boy, I feel a big difference from one side to the other. Now, if your balance is feeling pretty good today, as you step in, you can actually lift up the knee. And then right for 1, 2, either tap the toe or lift the knee. Good, let's do 1 more each side. It's up to you how much you're bending your knees. Keep it in a comfortable range. We're just getting started with class. This will be your last one. And then just back out to your Wide Wu Chi. Okay, our arms today, it's a portion of grasp the peacock's tail. So we're going to start to bend the knees again side to side. Don't worry about that tap in yet. And we'll take the hands down the peacock's tail and down the peacock's tail. So basically both arms are doing a nice figure 8, starting to warm up the shoulders. Good, this is nice and easy, so let's do 1 more each side. And then go down the peacock's tail to the right and add push hands to the left. So I'm going to intersect my wrists, push across, down the peacock's tail, and push hands. Arms go down, and then they're about just under shoulder height as we push across. 2 more. Nice and fluid and graceful. 1 more. And then just move to the other side. And we'll start our peacock's tail down this direction and then push hands. So we're just reversing. And your spine is slightly rotating from side to side. You might take your gaze down and then over to that right side. Grass the peacock's tail has a few more portions to it, but this is just the part we're going to do today. Let's do one more here to this left side. And then relax the arms. So we have 3, 2, step in, and again, 3, 2, step in. Now add your arms, 3, 2, step in, to the other side, 3, 2, step in. So this is a little soft block, and I want you to look that direction towards your hands. Then we'll go down, 3, push hands, 2, step together, tap, and block. Drag it down, 3, push hands, 2, tap in and block. 3, 2, block, tap. 3, push hands, 2, tap in and block. Drag it down, 3, push hands, 2, step in and block. Drag it down, 3, push hands, 2, step in and tap, block. Now remember, you can add this knee coming up. Take it down, 3, push hands, 2, tap in, block. If you get confused with the steps, you can just do the arms. Let's do 2 more each side. Peacock's tail, push hands, step in and block. One more each side. And step out to a moderate position, and we'll come into right ball and left ball. So today I'm going to give you the opportunity to add weights to this. So go ahead and make a little fist like you're holding on to your dumbbells. You can add a knee up for balance. And if you choose not to go with weights today, just continue doing this, or think about how much weight you want to try and go grab them now. So I'm just going to stay with my lowest workload, my 3s. So when we start in right ball, the right hand is on top, the left one is underneath. This elbow is not too high. We step out and switch. So the top hand, the palm is down. The bottom hand, the palm rotates up. Good. Just about 30 seconds here of roll the ball. And you're going at whatever pace works for your body today. So essentially what we're getting is a shoulder raise on the top arm and a little bit of a bicep curl on the bottom arm. If weights get too heavy, just set it down. One more each side. And then release it down. Great job. All right, focusing on posture. We'll turn our palms to face back behind us and extend the arms up and down any amount. Press back. Keep your core really tight. And let's come to first position with the feet. So we're turning your heels together. We'll press behind us and then bring the arms forward any amount. It might be just small depending on your shoulders. So we'll press behind as the legs are together. Step out to the right when the arms come up. Step together, press back. Step out to the left. So we're moving laterally side to side. So your step out is one option. Next option, bigger step out and plie or squat down. Bring it back. Step out. Optional squat. So I'm going to demonstrate one more with the squat on each side, and then I'm going to go back to the step because that squat's giving me a little bit of hip pain. So I'm just going to stay right in here. So the back of your hand faces the ceiling as the arms go forward, and then the palms face the ceiling as you press back. Two more each side. Great range of motion for those shoulders. Stretching the pecs as the arms go back. Last one to the left. Good, and relax. Okay, you need one medium-sized hand weight. I'm going for my 5. And then your chair to help you balance, or a wall. So we're going to place the chair to the right side of our body, the weight to the left. Bring the toes to turn out and then slide the left foot forward a little bit. You are in third position. I'm going to raise up and down, up and down. Just one more. Then your arm bends and you circle out and around. So I'm coming up with the arm, opening it to the side, but keeping my elbow in close to my waist. Let's add it together. So as you bend your elbow, you come up, circle around, and lower down. Up, circle around. So we're getting some shoulder work, mobilizing the rotator cuff, safe range of motion, working the bicep. Hold it up here, then let's reverse it. So come down, circle around, and lift. So your upper arm bone is rotating outward and inward. If the weight is too much, just set it down on your chair and do the exercise with no weight. 5, 4. Should be feeling it in those calves now. Stabilizer muscles in the ankles. 2 more. And relax. Good. All right. I'm just going to bring my chair to the other side. Come back to first position. So your heels are together. And then this right foot slides forward a little bit. Both toes are still turned out. This is third. I have my inner thighs zipped up. Let's just do a few calf raises to get started. Good. So those legs are just slightly staggered. And then let's add the elbow bends. We circle around. You can do a couple without the calf raise just to get the arm. And then whenever you're ready, add it in. We'll releve up, circle, and lower down. So really focus on drawing your shoulder blades together with nice posture here. Good. Elevate through the crown of the head. Make sure you don't look down at the ground, because we know the mantra, where your head goes, the rest of your body follows, or at least a little bit of your body will follow. Okay, let's come up and hold, and then we'll reverse. Come down, circle around, and releve. Releve means to lift. So we're lifting up on the balls of the feet. And try not to really grasp your chair. I'm just setting the heel of my hand there. You can put a finger, just whatever you need for balance. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. All right, moving the chair to the other side. So no weights for right now. I want you to work on this movement with balance, and you might decide you want to use the back of the chair to put your hands on, or you might want to use the lower part of the chair to put your hands on. It depends on how far you're going to move through your range of motion. So face the chair, either up here with the back of the chair or low, and we are going to pick up our right knee. Then send the right leg behind us and reach out and touch the chair. So you're either in the up position or you're coming down further, and then release it and come up. Try to bring your knee up. Send the leg back, touch the chair, and bring the knee up. Option for balance is just to touch the floor behind you, touch the chair, touch the floor, and lift the knee. Let's do 2 more on this leg. A wall is also nice because you can just walk your hands down the wall as you're coming forward. Walk them back up the wall and then rest. That's pretty intense in the hip of the standing leg. So let's try it on the other side. We're going to lift the left knee, send the leg behind us, either bring the hands to the top of the chair or down a little lower. So I'm going to use the top of the chair for this right hip and not come as far forward. So we're working on functional posture. So imagining we're reaching down, maybe picking something up, keeping our spine in neutral, our core engaged. Good. 1 more on this leg. And release it down. Okay, 2 of your heavier weights as we work the muscles of the back. I've got 2 8-pounders. We're going to start with a deadlift. So the hands are facing your legs. You have a small bend in your knees. Keep your back in perfectly neutral alignment as you come down just below the kneecaps and then pull up. So I talked to you about eccentric training, which means slowing down the negative part of the exercise. For this exercise, we're going to slowly come down and then quickly pull up. Maybe 3, 2, 1, pull up. 3, 2, 1, pull up. So I'm focusing on the backs of my legs. the hamstrings and the glutes, sometimes just referred to as the posterior chain. And this also involves the back muscles to some degree. Make sure your knees aren't locked out. Let's do one more. Okay, you can stay with this the way it is, or tap your right foot behind you slightly and my heel is up. Bend your front knee a little bit. It's the same exercise. 3, 2, 1, pull up. So this is going to challenge our balance a little bit more. And your feet aren't too far apart, almost like the pedals of your bicycle if you were to have your pedals at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. 3 more. You should be feeling this a little bit more in that front leg, or a lot more for me. Feeling it in the glute, the hamstring. One more time. Pull up, and then step the right foot back in place. Tap the left foot back. The heel is lifted. You have a small split stance. Realign your posture. Come down slow. 3, 2, 1, and pull up. I'm going to have to do this a little less deep on this side. So you can still go down just past the kneecap. I'm going to do a little smaller range of motion. 5 to go. Recheck your posture slightly. Squeeze your shoulder blades back. 3 more. Make sure your pelvis tips so you're not rounding your lower back. 1 more time. And step the left foot back in. So now we'll make this a dead row. So soften the knees, bring the weights down to the kneecaps, and as you pull your elbows back, turn your palms forward, squeeze back, release, and stand up. Down to the knees, rotate, pull, and up, down, rotate, and up. Nice neutral spine. I'll turn face side. 8 more. Row. And up. 7. 6. 5. Really scoop those abs in. 3. 2. Last one. And come up. Okay, see if this weight feels okay for you to do an upright row. So we're going to slide up and slide down. If they're too heavy, go grab something a little lighter. Now let's add our negative training. So come to the top quickly. Lower down for 3, 2, 1. Pick it up. 3, 2, 1. So this forces you to resist the pull of gravity against your muscles and bones and decelerate. Good. 3 more. Pull it up. Slow. 2 more. Good. Last one. All right. Turn the palms to face in. Hammer bicep curls. Up quickly. Down slow. 3, 2, 1. Up, down, down, down. So we're going to add a little bit of balance. Shift your weight into your right foot. up, down, down, left foot. And if you can't pick your foot up off the floor, just tap your big toe. Good. A little bit of outer thigh work. Up quick, down slow. Oh, I wish I could control that a little better on the right side. There it is. Oh, 4 more. Up, down, 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 and 3 more. That was better. Just takes a little practice. Good, and relax. Okay, let's go down to a light pair of hand weights. Stagger your stance, right foot in front, left foot taps behind. So we're in that same little staggered stance we did with our bent over rows. So we'll come down into a small staggered squat. So we bend both knees and we come up. So I want you to turn the bottom part of your weights together and then open any amount. So your thumbs are up, pinky fingers are down, pinkies are coming towards each other, and then going away. Now I'm keeping this low, but if you have pretty good shoulders, you can come up higher. I want you to be mindful, though, of your body. So this is not bad for your shoulders if you have light weight and you're not feeling any pain. It's very functional. 3 more. 2. 1 more. And step in. Bring the feet back together. Roll the shoulders a bit. Tap the right foot back. Heel is lifted. Feet are hips distance apart. Let's just start with the squat. No arms to begin. You're giving them a chance to take a break. Or maybe you're switching to a lower weight or no weight at all. I'm going to give you a little side view on this one. So the pinky fingers come towards each other at the bottom, and then we come away any amount. So you'll notice my arms are at an angle away from my body, kind of making a little V. So we have 8 more reps, and you're going to play with the range of motion, whether or not you have hand weights, or you're just moving through a nice range of motion with your arms only. Maybe you're just doing the squats. That's fine. You've got 4 more. 3. 2. And 1. Lower down to finish. And then stand and step that back foot in. Excellent. You can set those weights down. Isometric work. Oh, the word I was trying to remember before was isotonic. So when we're moving, isotonic. If we're staying still, isometric. So our isometric is going to be a plank. So if you want to just come over to the wall, put your hands on the wall, walk your feet back, do your plank here. You can put your hands on your chair, walk your feet back, do your plank. You can come down to the floor. You can use your elbows. You can come to your knees or toes. So we have a 90-second plank. Now that doesn't mean you have to hold it solid for the 90. You can take breaks, but our goal is 90 seconds. So let's get into your position for your plank. And beginning now. So again, you can come down to your elbows. You can drop your knees down. You can use those props, the wall or the chair, whatever progression for you. You can also upgrade it a little if you want to maybe lift a leg off the floor and then the other one. My hip doesn't like that, so I'm just going to stay right like I am. We have 1 minute to go. We're a third of the way through. So there's a lot of things that are working isometric here, mostly our core. But we're working on good posture, alignment of the spine. If your legs are straight and they're lifted off the floor, you're isometrically working your quads, a little bit of the glutes, definitely shoulder stability. You have 30 seconds to go. So up on hands, it can be challenging for the wrists and the shoulders, so that's the reason we can come down to the elbows or to the knees. 15 seconds. Scoop the abs in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, you take the rest that you need. I'm going to walk my feet back in and shake out the hands and the shoulders. Okay, we've got a combination of negatives, isometrics, and isotonics laying on our back, and I want you to pick a weight that you can do a chest press. So I'm going to go with my heavier ones, my 8-pounders, and put one on each side of my mat. Now you might want to have a couple of choices so that you don't have to get back up to grab your weights to switch. If you need a little pillow for your head, get everything comfortable as we come down onto our backs. All right. So remember when we did the rows and we turned our palms and we did this rotation, we're going to do that also when we're doing our exercises here on our back. Okay, let's roll on down. Okay, if I start with my elbows bent about 90 degrees, my palms facing in, as I press up, I'm going to turn my palms away from me so they're facing toward my knees. And then I can either turn my palms back to face each other or I can turn them toward my face. So depending on how much rotation you want to get through your forearms and through your shoulders, we'll come down and rotate, press up. So just to check, when you're here, the weights are just a little bit lower than the chest and they're going to stay at that angle when you push up. So you don't want your arms to come up here toward your face and then try to come down like that. So we want to protect the shoulders by pressing down about 90, and they're still over the lower chest when you press up. All right, now that we've got that piece, let's come down. You can let your elbows touch the floor and rest. So our feet are hip distance apart. We're going to lift the hips up into bridge and then come back down. We'll just do one more because we know our bridge. And down. So as the arms press up, the hips lift into bridge. So we'll press up, hips lift, and then we come back down. Press up and back down. So everything's moving. This is isotonics. So now the arms are going to continue moving isotonic, but the hips are going to lift and hold the bridge. That's isometric. So stay up in the bridge, bring your elbows down, and press up. 8, 7. If you need to set your weights down, just keep going just with your arms. 5 more. Exhale to push up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips lower down, and the weights come down. You can relax them all the way next to you onto the mat. Open your arms, give yourself a nice stretch. So our next exercise is a tricep extension. My hands are going to be parallel and they're coming right next to my ears or my temples, and I'm pushing up. So if the weights you have are appropriate for that, you can do 2 weights. This is going to be kind of heavy. So what I'm going to do is take 1 weight, hold it end to end, and bring it to my forehead and come up. So you can use 2 lighter weights or 1 heavier weight as we do these tricep extensions. Down and up. So our level 1, the feet just stay on the mat. We slightly press our low back into the floor. Level 2, we bend the elbow, and as we straighten, we slide the right leg out. Then we bring it in. We slide the left leg out. So 1 foot is on the mat at all times. This is great if you have low back issues. Next level, knees are in tabletop. We slide the right leg forward and the left leg forward. So pick your variation. 8 more. 7. Try not to let the low back arch if both feet are off the mat. Keep pressing down with the lower back. 4 more. 3. 2. 1. Now bend those elbows at about 90 degrees and hold this. This is your isometric. Keep going with the leg, right and left. So legs are moving isotonically, triceps are isometrically. Really feeling that work. 4 more. Feet can be on the mat. 3. 2 more. Last one. And then keep the elbows bent, but pull them down toward the mat. So this is called the pullover. So your elbows are going to stay 90 degrees. Just your shoulder moves as you bring it over the forehead and you pull it down. So again, you could be holding 1 heavy weight end to end like I am, or 2 lighter weights, 1 in each hand. So our option here is, as you're pulling the arms down, you're going to lift your shoulder blades and your head off the mat, do a little crunch, then a pull over, and a crunch. Now try to really focus on lifting your chest up, not your head, and then you won't challenge your neck muscles as much. So if you lead with your head and try to pick your head up off the floor first, your neck is going to tighten. So try to keep your head neutral and pick your shoulder blades up. Our last option, as you crunch up, bring your right knee toward you and your left knee toward you. 3 more each side. I'm feeling those triceps. 2 more each side, or whatever variation you're picking. 1 more each side. Last pull over, and then bring the elbows down. Ooh, I don't know about you, but I need to get rid of that weight for just a second. And let's reach the arms up. Take a nice stretch above the head if that feels okay for your shoulders. Your legs can go long if you want. And just stretch. Okay, working on obliques. We'll bring the feet back to bend. Slide the fingertips behind the back of your head to give yourself some neck support. We'll keep our right elbow on the floor as we lift our left shoulder blade off the floor. Then keep your left elbow on the floor as you lift your right shoulder blade. And again, try not to lead with your neck. Lead with the chest. Option, opposite knee comes in from that top elbow, and then we switch. So this level, 1 foot is on the floor at all times. Next level, you can start in tabletop and come across as you extend the leg, opposite leg outward. It's a very slow bicycle. Two more on each side. One more each side. And then relax, feet down, arms by your side. Take a couple deep breaths in. So what I want you to do is take your weights, and I want you to be real careful about it, but you're going to pick them up. You're going to bring them over the head and set them on the floor. So be real careful about it, but they're just above your head on the floor, and I have my heavy ones. So what I'm going to use them is like an anchor. So I'm not going to pick them up. I'm going to hold on to them and then just use them to hold myself in this position. So I'm going to bring my knees up and then bring them in closer to my body and see if I can pick my tailbone up off a little bit off the floor. So this is a reverse crunch. And my weights are kind of like a counterweight because they're helping me to lift my hips. If that bothers your shoulders, put your arms down here and press into your hands a little bit to try to lift your tailbone up. I'm not lifting my entire back up off the floor. It's just my tailbone. I'm contracting through the rectus abdominis from the posterior attachment of the muscle. Also, we're not throwing the legs up to try to do this. I'm keeping my knees pretty bent. You can straighten them a little bit to help you come up, but it's not a big swinging lift to try to get your bum up off the floor. 8, 7, It's really small. 6, 5. Option if it's bothering your back, just one leg. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax down. All right, let's roll over onto one side. Support your head here. Knees are stacked for clamshell. If you want, you can take a weight and set it right on the outer part of your thigh, and we'll open and close. Open and close. Now your feet are not opening. This is an external rotation for the hip. Good. And pace is moderately fast here. It's not super slow. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now a light weight for rotator cuff. The elbow stays tucked in close to the body. We're going to rotate out and come across the abdomen. And the range of motion is all up to you, what is comfortable in your shoulder. So I'm going to give you two choices with the clamshell. You're either going to do isotonic, which is moving, or isometric, which is holding. So if you're going to hold, your leg just stays up and the arm keeps moving. If you're isotonic, the leg comes down at the same time and back up. 30 seconds, your choice. If this bothers your shoulders, set the weight down. Do it without weight. Just keep doing the action. 15 seconds. Last one. Now keep the knees together. Rotate out into that rotator cuff and press away from your body and bring it back in to tap your elbow. Just 8 of these. 3, 4. Without weights is fine. 5. You can add the hip if you want. 6, 7, and 8. Good. Recover down. Release that weight. Use it to push into the floor and to press yourself up and rotate to the other side. Have your light hand weight with you. Stack your knees, stack your feet, 90-degree flexion at your hips approximately and at your knees. Okay, we can add the weight here, clamshell. And I cannot do any extra weight on this side, so I'm just going to do a tiny clamshell. It's interesting, the hip arthritis, this is really what's affected most, is this opening my knee out to the side. And when I first started getting signs of it, I would sit in a car on the passenger side. I'd open the door and then I would just take my leg out to get out of the car. No bueno. I'd have to swivel around with both legs and then stand up. So it's this movement I'm keeping it pain-free. Okay, let's get the weight for rotator cuff. And we'll bring it out and down. Again, about a 90-degree bend in your elbow. The elbow stays in close to your waist. It's best practices to actually tuck a little towel between your elbow and your rib cage. That's always a really good way to do it. And then two choices. We can hold our clamshell isometrically while we're isotonically working through the rotator cuff, or we can make both of these isotonic by lowering and lifting. I'm going to take option 3, which is nothing with the hip, which you guys probably don't have to do that, but that's okay. It's good to show that option as well. Let's get 3 and 2. We'll hold up on 1, then we'll press the weight up and we'll bring the elbow back in toward us. I'm going to do this without weight on this side. Press up, elbow in. You can add the hip if you like. We have 4 more reaching up. 4. Interesting, without any weight, I'm still really feeling this in the deltoid. 2 more. Last one. And then release it down and set your weight down. Use the strength of that arm you just used to press yourself up. Okay, we're going to come to a nice seated wide leg position. If it's hard for you to sit up like this, you're going to bend your knees, or you're going to sit on a little pillow or a blanket to elevate your hips, which I really do like. Comfortable distance apart with your feet. So we are going to do 3 stretches. The first one is in the middle, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back in. Second stretch is to the right side, so one hand on each side of your leg. Turn your spine. Come down any amount till you feel a stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it back in. Rotate all the way to the left. Find your stretch here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it in. Okay, back to the center. See if we can take it a little deeper and hold for 10. So walk it out. 10 seconds. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it in. Rotate to the right. Try to keep this left sit bone down. Walk it out. 10 seconds. You might be feeling this along this outside waistline. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it in. Take your time. Turn your entire torso so we have rotation, keeping this right sitting bone down. Walk it forward till you feel your stretch. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it in. Come back to the midline. Now you can stay in this wide leg stretch, or you can bring your feet together to butterfly, or even just cross your legs or sit in a chair. We're going to do a side bend with a rotation. So right hand comes down. We'll lift the left arm up, stretch.